This week is Congenital Heart Defect Week, and the American Heart Association is hosting a really fun event for kids to test their heart health knowledge. And it's something that they can incorporate into their programs all year long. Here to tell us all about it is Christina Todorich, Development Director and School Engagement Officer, and Kids Heart Challenge Youth Ambassador, Alexis Lovelace. Great to have you both here.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
us.
So how did this all start? By kind of wrapping this challenge around a really important week and a message.
Yeah, for sure. So Kids Heart Challenge, we've been in the schools, in school programs since 1979 here in Louisville. Actually, we had schools participate the very first year in 79. So we've been partnering with schools for over 40 years and just really trying to tie in local stories, not just using our national ambassadors, but having stories like Alexis's to be able to tell kids like, hey, there's kids just like you that we're helping through our program. And so that's what kind of ties everything together.
So how can kids get involved in this heart challenge?
Yeah.
Not just this week, this month, but year round.
Yeah.
What do they have to do?
For sure. So there are certain schools that participate with us throughout the county. I actually work with Jefferson, Oldham, and 3 counties in Indiana, but we have the program through every county in Kentucky. And so if their school is not currently registered, they can go to heart.org/schools or heart.org/get started, and they can find if their school is participating or not. If their school's not participating, we'd be happy to sign them up. If they are participating, they get online, they do something called Finn's Mission where they can learn hands-only CPR, the warning signs of stroke, and we teach them all sorts of heart healthy habits like what to eat and how to move and make sure that we're getting enough sleep and all those things that keep kids healthy.
That's a whole health curriculum right there.
It is.
I love it. Such useful information. Well, Alexis, you have a really personal story that you're going to share with us and that you share with the kids on this program.
Yes. So when I was in 7th grade, I was shadowing a local high school when I collapsed. Little at the time, we did not know my heart was in a life-threatening rhythm. But after that, I was diagnosed with a life-threatening congenital heart disease called long QT syndrome. Since then, I have been fighting with finding a right treatment plan for me. I am a competitive athlete. I'm a competitive dancer. And I was about 8 weeks away from competing in a world competition when I was first diagnosed, and I was told I would never be able to dance again, which was really heartbreaking and really hard. But thanks to a lot of new research and doctors, I was able to be treated enough that I would be able to continue into athletics. And I proved everyone wrong, and last year my team and I actually won Worlds.
Oh, congratulations.
The Dance World Championship.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right? Like, it's just knowing is one thing, and being able to live with it and work with doctors to make sure that you're able to live the life you can.
Yes.
Yeah. It must be just it's so compelling to hear that story and take that story into the schools, right?
Definitely.
So they can understand it too.
Yeah, I mean, when I tell kids, hey, there's this girl that lives right here in Louisville where you guys live, and I tell her story, and the way I kind of put it to the kids to kind of make it make sense is I ask them, well, how many of you guys play sports? And, they'll raise their hand.
Yeah.
And how would you feel if a doctor told you you couldn't play anymore? And it kind of
It would
sets in
crush
for
their
them.
world.
Right.
But it is possible.
Correct. And then when I tell
them,
them, Alexis was told the same thing, but now because of medical advances, she's able to compete again, they're like, oh, and they all get excited, and it makes sense for them.
Yeah, well, you continue to be involved, right, with the Heart Association?
Yes.
So what would you tell other students that maybe want to get involved? I think it's a great way also to volunteer. Everybody needs service hours. What a great way to give back, I think, right?
Yes. I attend Sacred Heart Academy, and we have something called a sophomore project, and I partnered with American Heart Association in my sophomore project because I wanted to make like a CPR awareness video, kind of real and just going over like the call, push, shock, what to do in the case of a cardiac emergency. So in partnership with them, we made a video of what happened with my event, and that's the first time I kind of got involved with American Heart. And then they were working on legislation, which is House Bill 331, where CPR and AED emergency action plans and AEDs are going to be required in schools.
They need to be,
Yes.
right? A lot of schools already, but and the expense, right? Like making sure that they're able to get their hands on this life-saving equipment, right?
So I worked with them in getting that legislation passed, and now we're working on getting it funded. But since then, I learned all about American Heart and all the money that they give to doctors and hospitals like the Mayo Clinic, which is where I got my treatment, and University of Louisville, which is another place in my care. in order to help me have a normal life
Yeah.
due to like the treatment plans and advances.
Well, you are a miracle, right? We just love that you are being a great ambassador for the American Heart Association and sharing that message. And people can connect with you guys all month to get involved, right?
Yes, most definitely. You know, Heart Month is a great month to get involved. Of course, we, you know, accept help any time of the year, but February is a great time
Special
just
month.
to, raise
All right.
awareness.
Thanks to you both. Thank you so much. Again, to learn a little bit more about the Kids Heart Challenge or Congenital Heart Defect Week, go to heart.org/get started.